Hey folks, welcome back to WarThunder. Playing the Challenger again, which is becoming a bit of a habit. I keep telling myself to ignore it until I fix the armour, but it's just too good to look at to not play it. Generally I'll save myself for the sim events, but they're only running once every 3 days, so I have to make do with RB, and I found honestly that if you play it, I don't know if sneaky is the right word because it's kind of massive and, you know, you don't really associate being sneaky with a tank like this, but if you try not to get seen and you try not to get shot at, it works pretty well. The mobility is adequate enough to get you to and from places. You can use terrain features to be sneaky. Your armour can take the odd hit if you're unlucky enough to get shot at, but I think of the armour as a last resort rather than just something that you should rely on. Anyway, so we're playing on the triple cap version of Mossdock. My plan for this match is to just run along the northern border to the far west side, where I'll have flanking shots on anyone passing out of their spawn or out of C cap towards B. And flanking shots is where this tank is best equipped to deal with things, I think. I don't know if it's just me, but the post-pan damage of the shell just seems to be lacking at the minute. But as you can see, especially when you're shooting at the side of Russian tanks, or at least the new top-tier Russian tanks, they only have 3 crew. So if you shoot at the turret basket kind of area, you'll either kill the crew or you'll hit the ammo, detonate the tank in one shot. Definitely the most reliable way of dealing with them. Pretty much in position now. I can see some shots up ahead of enemies that are pushing up north along the western border of the map, and a friendly Abrams up ahead is being killed. So we've got a T-64A, got lucky there through the turret. Well, not really, it would have gone through anyway, but I was aiming lower. And then some poor idiot in a T-44. And the pathetic thing is, I'm actually worried about getting shot at by this guy, because currently the way the armour's modelled, composites model, there's lots of thin layers of armour. And there's no mechanic in the game to tell old full caliber style World War II projectiles to lose penetration as they go through different objects. And they also have an overmatch mechanic where if the shell is wider than the armour, then they have a percentage chance to penetrate. So what that basically means is that if an old style World War II gun is sufficiently high caliber, it can actually pen composite armour as if it's made out of paper, because it just pens all the individual layers really easily, and there's nothing coded into the game to tell the shot to slow down as it passes through each one. So T10s, for example, and M103s, they can just pen composite modern tanks like they're made out of paper. Like the M103 can shoot straight through the upper front plate of the T64, which is just ridiculous. Like even the Challenger struggles with that. Anyway, back to the game. So I'm on 3 kills. Our team seems to be doing pretty well. We've got A and B cap secured. I have a reasonably good position overlooking B, which is the most likely cap that they're going to push. And I also have the opportunity to push straight down ahead to maybe not. I won't try and cap C, because being out of position in the Challenger is just a death sentence basically. Just spraying MGs to try and stop them from returning fire. I don't know why he didn't shoot me then. But anyway, I'm not going to try and cap C, but I will put pressure on C, in the hope that the enemy team will come and back it up and try and deal with me rather than the rest of the team, and that will allow the rest of the team to push through, help me overcome the numbers disadvantage, and then they can cap C for me whilst I provide overwatch. So there's a T-64B ahead of me at the other side of C, and it's likely that that shulker just spotted me for the team, so the enemy probably know that I'm here. T-64 is just there, right in the centre of the binos. I can't kill him reliably at all with the turret shot from the front. Even with the upgraded shell, it's just not worth doing, because if I expose myself, he will pan my turret much easier than I can pan his. I also have to be mindful of any enemy tanks that are on B. So what I'm going to do right now is just push slightly to the right. Well, okay, maybe not right now. I'm trying to get an angle on something I can hear or see shooting over there. But because there could be enemy tanks on B, I'm going to shuffle to the right a little bit so that this hill that I'm on covers me a little bit more to the left. At some point, anyway. I remember thinking that at the time, and I remember doing that at the time, but because this is a post-commentary, I'm not entirely sure at what point I actually did it. There we go. So I'm still not entirely sure if this guy knows that I'm here or not. So you can just see him moving around there. I'm not going to get the gun depression here. I'm just kind of pointlessly trying to get an angle, and then because I use sim optics, the optic is slightly offset to the right, and it just put that tree right in the way of it. See, so it shot low and left because the optic is positioned high and right. So when you're aiming with sim optics on the Challenger, you have to account for the parallax by aiming slightly high and to the right. But it's incredibly difficult to do, more so at close ranges where the parallax is more pronounced. They're now capping B. So this is definitely the point where I'm thinking that I need to shuffle over right to get this hill in front of me to cover me from both the T-64 ahead at C and also the people capping B. So there we go. Now shifting for cover rather than just to get an angle on the T-64B at the other side of C. I'm now sandwiched though, because they still have a lot of players left, and as far as I can tell on the map, I only have one SPAA. Unfortunate that wasn't a kill. I was aiming low on his side to try and get his ammo carousel. He managed to use the reload to back off. I'm trying to push for an angle to see if he kept going, but I'm very conscious of the fact that the guy that's at the other side of C can easily get a shot on me here. He's pushing now. I've switched over to the higher pan APDS-FS round, because if I manage to catch the T-64's upper front plate from an elevation advantage, then it should pan. There I was trying to get his side to pan through the side armour, even at such a steep angle, because it would have hit his ammo and killed him, but angle was just too steep for it to pan and it bounced. I have superior mobility to the T-64, especially in terms of reverse speed, so I'm hoping that he's going to be pushing to the left where I just was, and I can get a side shot. And it looks like he was, but he saw me moving, so he's now adjusted round. So now he has the armour advantage in this situation, but I have the gun depression advantage. So if he pushes me, I'll get the shot off first, and if I push on him, he'll likely kill me. But I get the first shot off, just get below his turret ring on the side of the tank, missing his upper front plate completely, and manage to hit him in the ammo carousel. So, looking at the scoreboards, fears have been realised, they've capped everything. We only have one friendly SPAA left. They have planes, although he did just kill himself trying to bomb me. I don't know why a MiG-17 would not carry the S-21 rockets, but I'm not going to complain about that. So basically it's an unwinnable situation. There's still a T-64B that we know of on B, because that's the guy that I crit earlier. It's just a case of what's the best course of action for me right now. And I can see that there is an enemy SPAA in our spawn. Not that he's going to be harassing many people, given that I'm basically the only person left. And it's obvious to me at this point that I'm going to lose. So I'm going to try and push back up to the ridge in the northwest corner of the map, which is where I started from, and then work my way back to the cap and push around, systematically wipe them all, and then get A, B and C, and hopefully do it before the game ends. But the guy that I crit, he knew I was here. This is where synoptics suck, because I didn't aim for the parallax. If I had been slightly higher, I might have got his gun. There's an enemy person shooting from behind. I can't aim at them because the engine dead points my gun up. Best I can do is pop smoke, but I'm never getting out of this. I've got like 2 or 3 people shooting at me from everywhere. It's a hopeless lost cause. But I did at least get 5 kills, so I'm happy with that. But as you can see, the challenge is pretty decent as long as you don't get shot at, if you don't get caught out of position. If you get caught in the open, you are doomed. You just have to play it like a glass cannon, basically. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.